In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet.
This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined over Zoom by former world champion Mr. Charlie Edwards. Charlie, how's life, mate?
Yeah, life's treating me well, mate. Training away as always. Had a couple of weeks off after my last fight. Reassessed it, went through it a few times with my team and stuff. So yeah, everything's good, mate. It was nice to get straight back in the gym and push on from the last performance. It was a stellar performance. Probably one of my best to date. I could arguably say it was probably better than the Rosales fight because the fight that I fought was a fighter who was probably better than Rosales, and he's beat someone who even beat Rosales. So it was it's been a nice time, a lot better now than it was in March. That's for sure.
Yeah, look, I think it was a month yesterday since the fight, and
Mm.
if, there's obviously been news which we'll talk about regarding your future. But first of all, in regards to the fight and the build up to it all, how have you found making Superfly for the first time in a long time, mate?
Do you know what? Like, obviously, it hurt. Like, I think you could see that at the weigh-in. It hurt a little bit at the weigh-in, but it was all right. Like, obviously, when you get down to them lighter weight divisions, and me also dropping down the weight and making bantamweight for the last 4 or 5 years, it was obviously always going to be a bit harder. But I'm fully aware that the reason why I become a world champion at flyweight was because I done this once before, and there's no difference in it now. Like, I feel like the best Charlie Edwards is down at super flyweight. It's where I'm more dominant. It's where I'm bigger. It's where I'm stronger. When I refuel, I put on some serious weight, and I'm a force to be reckoned with. And also, I'm a lot more confident because I know it's the weight I should be fighting at. So yeah, it was tough the last day because I dropped in the morning on the way in, but other than that, I refueled great. I felt great within the refuel, and and most importantly, when I stepped over to that arena, I felt like the best I have felt for many, many of years, and the performance showed that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building on that. Now I know I can do the super flyweight limit, and I've done it comfortably. And now I've only had 2 weeks off because of obviously the news that's coming. Um, I haven't put much weight on. Like I enjoyed a couple of weeks downtime and majority put water weight on, but like I'm in a good position, better position even now, starting this next camp than I was before the last one. So yeah, I feel good. I feel confident, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I feel like it's quite easy sometimes for the untrained eye to see someone on weighing day and maybe the hour or two before that and say you may not look your best, but then 24 hours later, you did look like a different man and you felt stronger and better than you have done in years, like you've said. And the performance showed that, right, Charlie?
Yeah, 100%. Because realistically, like I said, like I was doing bantamweight, but I was always trying, although I'm small, whatever, I was always trying to eat up to be a big bantamweight and a strong bantamweight. Like a lot of my training camps was I had to, because obviously I have to eat good amounts of good food, and that's hard to eat clean, big amounts to develop. So like a lot of my days were just consistence of just like stressing over making sure I'm eating enough food, I'm cooking, I've got enough on my plate, I'm weighing everything out. So it got to a bit of like unenjoyment, like especially being over in Portugal, it's boiling hot over here, like 30 to 35 degrees, and I'm having to eat like big red meat meals and really try and force the food in me. And it's it got to a point where it was like it was more effort to to try and put size on. And I think we did see it in my fights where realistically my opponents looked a weight or two weights above me and I was still being able to perform. So it was like, yeah, it was a smart decision and blessing in disguise, probably what happened to me, just losing like a very close points split decision loss. It made me think, why am I giving advantages away when I don't need to? Like I can fight at my weight where I'm going to be strong and big. And when I'm in the fight, I'm confident in my power. Like I'm confident in keeping them off. And I feel like doing so has ticked all these boxes that is making me perform to the best of Charlie again. So yeah, it's good. I've found my weight. I found my weight class where I should have been at for many of years, which I didn't go to because of the severe weight cut that I did back in 2019 when I was really dead at the weight. So it kind of put a bit of trauma, PTSD into me where I didn't want to risk that, and I was playing it safe for many years.
Yeah, well, like you said, you've kind of faced that now, and that leads us
Mm.
nicely into what you'll hopefully be facing if we're to believe reports that come out last week that you potentially are in negotiations with Jimenez for that WBA interim title. What can you
Mm.
tell us right now, Charlie?
We're in negotiations at this moment in time. My manager, Anto Fitzpatrick, and Nissa have been chatting a lot, and there was talks about me fighting on the 21st of November. So that was the originally talks. Then we got into the negotiations about the fight with Jimenez for the WBA interim world title. Um, and so we're aiming still for that date, you know. And I'm not naive also to think that like Bam Rodriguez is fighting on the 22nd. So like I'm just staying ready, you know. I'm not going to miss an opportunity if one presents itself. And I'm hoping that, yeah, 6 weeks' time on Friday, that I will be fighting for the WBA interim world title against Jimenez. Like I said, we're in negotiations back and forward with them. I'm not really focusing on that. I managed myself for a little while, and I'm glad to be on the not managing myself and let Anto do all that. And I'm just focusing. Like I started my sparring last week. I'm on good tracks and I'm preparing really well. I've only had 2 weeks from my last fight off, so I'm in a good position just to kick in. Like I only need 5 weeks to go. So let's hope we can get that over the line. And yeah, it's a fight that I'm very confident in winning and performing very well in, and becoming um, a two-time world champion, albeit it being the interim title. But we also know where that leads us after that.
Not to dwell on the past too much, but could you ever imagine a few years ago when you was facing that much inactivity that you'd be going into camp 2 weeks later fighting what will be
You know what?
about 8, 9 weeks after your last fought in another arena?
You know what? I've got to thank Wasserman massively. Got to thank Nissa and Keller Sowland. Also my manager Anto Fitzpatrick. I'm in the best position I've been in for many, many of years, and I'm grateful. You know, very, very grateful to be back in the activity fighter, championship fight after championship fight, and this is like a dream come true. I've wanted this for so many years. Don't forget, like, I was left in the dust, mate. I was in the graveyard, like, scratching my way out. Couldn't get out for love nor money. I fought on the bowlers arena, like, against a journeyman for free to get back to this stage. You know, a proper George Foreman moment for me. You know, it's been many, many years, and I've never took no for the answer, and I've tried, jumped ship, had to get in and out of contracts and managers, etc., to be back here. So it's been a long road, but it's one that I've had to walk, and it will be even sweeter winning a world title this time because I've had to go through hell to get here.
I know you said when kind of you made the comeback when you signed with Wasserman, what would be 18 months, 2 years ago. This is the second coming, but it feels like this was kind of a build up for what's about to come, and it's the best yet to come, Charlie.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like I hate it because I've had it so many times where it's like chapter two,
Mm.
chapter two, chapter two, like and like obviously we had the David Hay, the 2.0 and stuff like that. I hate that kind of like analysis of it because this is probably how it was always supposed to be. There was never no chapters involved. This is just the story of Charlie Edwards, and this is what God's presented in front of me and challenges I've had to tackle to make me who I am today. And today I am the best version of Charlie Edwards ever been stepping into the foot of the ring. And I still don't believe I have showcased it in the actual fight night arena yet. Like what I'm doing in the gym and what I do on the daily and how I'm operating behind closed doors is phenomenal. Like, and I know that it's gonna come in the ring. So the best is yet to come. I'm feeling primed. I'm feeling peak. Um, the first, the very few last years of getting back to this point, I feel a matured, experienced fighter. You know, I have been inactive, but I haven't been out of the gym, and I've always been developing and progressing, and the best is yet to be shown.
You mentioned there about Bam, he's fighting unification fight, which
Mm.
will be the night after yours, hopefully, if it does come over the line. Would you be willing to kind of step in if anything did happen? We see Josh Padley step in with Shakur.
Just,
It all
just
goes
you
on.
don't have to ask me, mate. Like I chase greatness. That's just what I've done. I've done it from the word go when I fought Casemiro as an 8 fight novice. You know what I mean? Who was a banger in the division back then. Like I've always just chased greatness. And of course I will. I've got nothing to lose. Everyone would say I would get knocked out and they can think whatever they want. And all I need to do is go in there and give my utmost best. And like I believe on my day when I'm the best version of myself, I can beat absolutely anyone in the world in my weight division. And yeah, of course I would. Like I'm training now and I'm not naive to think these things happen. Like, and it's just perfect timing that my fight is right round the corner from that. You don't know. Someone could go get a cut in sparring next week and they could be dying for an opponent to save the show. Well, I'll be there.
Love that. I feel like with whether it be Casemiro, Rosales, even Andrew Kane, whether it go your way or not, Charlie Edwards always hungrier and better when his back's against the wall, right?
You know what? I'm a professional boxer. I'm a born fighter. I've been fighting since I'm 11 years of age. So, like, I'm 21 years deep. Do you know what I mean? I just want to be the best version of myself. Like, win, lose, or draw, as long as I'm getting in there and I'm developing, I will always come back stronger. You know, I'm never going to take a loss to heart. I've done that before in the past, and it took me a long time to get through it. And the reality is, when you fight the best, that can happen. Like, too much pride, too much ego on the line where fighters don't want to fight each other or don't want to push themselves and take the biggest risks because they're scared they might get hurt or whatnot, or they get a loss. But look, let's be honest. If we get this over the line and I'm fighting for the WBA interim world title, I'm next in line for the undisputed anyway. Really, I'm one of the biggest names in the division anyway, and that's if Bam don't move up. Like we don't know if Bam wins or Martinez wins. It's still yet to be contested. So it's like I'm in a great position, and let's be real when I say this. If I do get this shot, it's probably off the back of a split points loss, which I didn't even lose, let's be honest. But it will probably be why I'm getting accepted to fight. So everything happens mysteriously in this world. And when you take a little bump in the road, you just brush yourself down and you go again and you use it as experience to better yourself. And like my last performance showed how much I improved, how much I faced myself and what I had to deal with and answer questions to myself. I improved massively, and now off the back of that last performance, it's going to show again.
Last one before I let you go. Last time we spoke a little bit about your man Numero,
Hmm.
with Joey Essex and everything that kind of happened after that. And then I spoke to Numero, which you kindly set up. And yeah, any updates with the man that
Yeah,
is Numero?
the appeal got rejected, which we kind of thought it was going to happen. Let's be honest, Joey Essex is the big household name in the UK. However, we've been in touch with Mams, and we've had meetings, and he wants to make the rematch, whether it be next year. He says it's obvious that has to happen because he really thought in his heart that it was a draw. Like I thought my man won. Um, Many people thought mine won. Some people obviously thought Joey won, but a lot of people were saying it was a draw, you know, and Mams was one of them, and he said it was one of his best fights he had on Misfits, up there with the top three ever. So it showed that Numero done very well. His stock has risen, and it makes a great narrative to get the rematch on the line maybe next year if Joey Essex steps foot back in a boxing ring. They're still led to believe that he might not, as he did end up in the hospital. And this is a tough game, but you've got to show him respect. And if they meet again, it will be next year sometime.
Would there be options for Numero away from Joey Essex?
Yeah, 100%. Numero has instructed us as his team to start looking for opponents because he is booked an arena in Lisbon for the I think it's 17th or 18th, correct my dates, of January. So we're going to start currently looking for an opponent for him. And then Mams have also said he's a Misfits fighter. He puts his own shows on as well, like he's done before. But Mams wants him in the first quarter, so maybe in April on a show. There was options for him to go out to America in January, but Numero wanted to put his own show on in Portugal. So if you're about, we'll have to get you out.
Yeah, 100%. A bit of a winter sun won't go amiss,
That's
mate.
it.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll
100%.
catch up if/when anything gets over the line. We know negotiations are going on, and we hope, yeah, we get that news soon, mate. All the best.
Yeah. Yeah. God willing, it comes through the door, but whatever comes, I'll be ready. And whatever's next on this journey, it's a step in the right direction to where I need to be. So I appreciate it and appreciate all the support and following and always getting me on the channel and interviews. IFLTV still ruling the roost for many of years.
In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet.